All right, so we're back once again for the Christine leg of the apology tour. This would be my part two. This is where we're actually going to talk about the apology that Kody started to give Christine. Okay, because TLC did the disservice of separating the two uh scenes, this into two scenes. So I'm going to break it down from the second scene from that second episode. And I got to tell you from the start, it's my opinion that in some cases art reflects life. Okay. And I think that art is a way to express the human condition, whether it's plays, songs, movies, whatever the case may be. Sometimes you get that one piece of art that perfectly describes a situation or scenario that can happen in your life. And to me, the one song that I think perfectly describes what Christine experienced during this entire apology tour is actually a classic song from Gloria Gaynor called I Will Survive. If you don't believe me, please go get it. I was going to put it on the video. I can't clearly because it will be copyrighted and I will be in YouTube jail. Okay, they'll put me in YouTube prison if I put Gloria Gaynor's song on there. But I mean, if we break it down from just parts of Gloria Gaynor's song, I Will Survive, there's a couple lines that just stick out. And I just wanted to touch on those. The first line, where it talks about, at first I was afraid, I was petrified, talking about Christine as she's thinking about leaving the family, as she's thinking about changing her life. There's a part where you decide, you come to the realization that a relationship isn't working out, that is horrifying. Because when you start a relationship, especially a lifetime relationship like a marriage, or you start having kids with somebody, especially 6 kids with somebody, damn, half a classroom with somebody, right? You start to formulate and construct what your life is going to be like with this person. Like, the rest of my days are going to be this person as this person's companion. They're going to be my companion. We're going to be partners. We're going to raise these kids up and we're going to have a beautiful life. And then the reality that is no longer possible or feasible, right? You just can't do it. There's that part where you just say, you know what? This is the most horrifying thing I can do. Because when push comes down to shove, whether it's a career, relationship, whatever, change in itself is scary. And when Gloria Gaynor talk about it, first I was afraid, I was petrified, thinking I could never live without you by my side. And after spending so many nights feeling sorry for myself, I used to cry. But now I hold my head up high. That's Christine. That's Christine's song. She could play this this could have been the soundtrack to this whole Christine's leg of the apology tour. Right? And then the idea that he could come back from outer space, right? Come out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, he's just going to interject himself back into her life, right? I'm coming out of nowhere, and because it serves me and because I'm ready, it's my time. I feel like now we could talk things out, and now is a good time for me to be able to fit you into my schedule, and we can do this. That now I'm going to come back and I want to have a conversation. Where was the conversation? Where was the effort? Where was the interest when she was talking about leaving? Where was all that? Because keep in mind, Christine had literally been gone. Like, by this time, she had almost been married 2 years. By the time he started doing the apology tour, right? She had been gone. Like, she'd been gone for like 3, almost going on 4 years now. Now all of a sudden he's talking about, oh, let's get together because I want to apologize. I have some things I want to say. I want to extend the olive branch of benevolence. Like, it's just the craziest part of the whole thing. And then if you go further into the lyrics, uh you know, classic, and now you're back from outer space, and with that sad look upon your face. And I find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for 1 second you'd be back to bother me, right? I've heard it in more stronger terms other than bother me, but go on now, go walk out the door, turn around now. You're not welcome anymore. Right. And that's the part that starts to turn the whole situation. Kody's not welcome back in this situation. You're not a friendly foe. Like, you're not the person who I'm going to be dealing with. You're not even an adversary, because at the end of the day, you don't matter, because when it comes to my life, you don't even register anymore. There was a time when you were the center of my existence, but that time is gone now. And who the person that is sitting in front of you is a completely different person. And it touches on that very sentiment in this very next line, where it says, "You're the one who tried to hurt me with goodbye. Think I'd crumble. Think I'd lay down and die." But because at this point, the goodbye is not just the goodbye. The goodbye is, I never loved you. I never cared about you. I was never attracted to you. I always thought you were physically disgusting. I was never sexually interested in you. That's the goodbye. And every time he said that, he didn't just say that because he was just this dedicated harbinger of the truth. He said that because he wanted to break Christine down. He wanted to break her ass up like cheap china. That was the whole reason why he was saying that. He wanted to destroy her. And in his efforts to destroy her, you know, when you in order for you to build something new, sometimes you have to destroy the old thing. And what Kody did in effect was, he did destroy. He was effective in his pursuit of destroying Christine. The problem that he has is, he destroyed the old Christine. He destroyed the Christine who was going to sit there and make excuses for him. He destroyed the Christine who was going to sit there and give him grace. He destroyed the Christine who would have sat there and listened to that tired ass apology with googly eyes and, "Oh, you did love me. Oh, and thank you. You made my world, because I was unsure of myself and I didn't know what my past held." He didn't realize that the person sitting in front of him was something different. This actually touches on a sentiment that I have. Like, I wish I had like numbers like James Rule number 54, right? But this is actually one of my personal beliefs. I genuinely believe that when it comes to rekindling old relationships, whether it's friendships, romantic relationships or situations, or whatever the case may be, even going back to old jobs, right? There's a point where you have to be very hesitant about it. You have to take into account that the person who walked away from that situation is not the same person who's coming back into that situation. If you were with a person, they weren't there, like especially in Christine's case. Kody wasn't there because when she walked away from this relationship broken and broke down, torn apart, torn asunder, everything that she was in her entire adult life, basically, from the time she was in her early 20s all the way to now, she had to ask the question, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. I'm Kody Brown's wife. I'm these kids' mother. I'm part of a polygamous. That's my identity. When Kody excised her from that situation by treating her shabbily, and she decided she was going to leave for herself, she basically turned her back on the identity that she's been building for 20 plus some odd years, 30 years. And now she's reformulated herself into something different. The house that Kody built was knocked down and rebuilt into something else. And unfortunately for Kody, you staying on the house analogy, Kody no longer has the key to the front door. He can't just let himself in and out as he pleases. He no longer has that right, especially since Christine now has a new landlord and or roommate, right? David has the deed to her heart, and Christine has the deed to David's heart. So, so Kody is no longer welcome. Here, they have a big no trespassing sign on the front yard. Okay. And that's what makes the whole thing funny to me is that, like I said, he tried to hurt her by saying goodbye and say all these nasty things. So now he wants to come back and apologize for all the nasty things he said and all the hurtful things he did because he still thinks that he's the center of her universe. And that's what this Gloria Gaynor song, I Will Survive, is about. Like I said, this song is the soundtrack to Christine's presence on Sister Wives. From her because he called it like the we've been oftentimes referring to it as to Kody's, trying to reimagine his image and, heal his image or whatever. And here's the part I think really talks about Christine's story arc. And you see me, somebody new, not that same old person who was still in love with you. And so you thought you just drive by and you expect me to be free, but I'm saving all my loving for someone who's loving me. And that is quintessentially Christine and David's relationship. Holla at your boy. If you like what I'm saying, give me a like. Straight up. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. Christine is basically saying, I'm not available to you. And when we think about what Kody was saying, let's talk about this damn apology. And I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna play it at full speed because I sped it up, right? Because at the end of the day, he didn't say anything. Two, it was a whole lot of nothing. Three, it was just long for no damn reason. And four, TLC will copyright me into oblivion if I try to play the whole thing. So let's play the short clip, and we're going to talk about some of the things that he brought up during his apology. And this is just the Christine part. I have a whole separate video for David and David's interaction with Kody. But let's check it out.
However it is, it was a life experience, and it was incredibly poetic. It was beautiful like a storm and a sunset. There was hard days, and there were good days, and it was beautiful from a poet's perspective, right? What are some others? I apologize for being a freaking victim, because I wasn't. That just sort of seemed to seep into me a little bit. Sometimes the experience was good. I mean, I'm not telling you where to be in any way.
Yeah, no.
But our experience, and part of this apology, Christine, is me actually going, wow, that was special when and where it was special.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Now that's the part I wanted to focus on, because when Kody showed up to this TED Talk, and that's what this was. Like, this was basically his version of a TED Talk where he was going to sit down and he was going to give like this big explanation in this big whole speech, and everybody was supposed to be moved by what he was saying. But when you break down what he actually said, our relationship was beautiful from a poet's perspective. It wasn't beautiful because it was beautiful and it was special, it was unique, and it was a time in our lives where it made us into the people that we are today. And I'm appreciative to you for the experience that you gave me, for the companionship, the love, and everything that you gave to me. I'm appreciative of that fact, and I am sorry because I feel like I disrespected the commitment that you had to me, to the family, to the love, and to the life that you gave to me, and I'm sorry for that. That's not what he said. He said that if somebody outside from a poet's perspective and artistic view looked at our relationship, they would say that it's beautiful. I would not say that this is beautiful. I would say that you had a nightmare situation that produced some extraordinary individuals as far as your kids are concerned. You may have had happy times, but looking at how Kody is approaching this, I can't say that it was a wonderful situation. I would be hesitant to say it was a wonderful situation. And I'm trying to look at it from a poetic point of view. Hence Gloria Gaynor. I'm looking at it from the artistic side. This is not a beautiful situation, right? If anything, it's a Greek tragedy. But Kody also went on to check, I'm not telling you how to be. I'm not telling you that you need to get over it, but you need to get over it. And I need you to be happy. I need you to give me something to where I feel better about it. And this is the part where Kody isn't trying to apologize. He's trying to convince. He's not saying he's sorry or remorseful for the things that he did. He's saying you guys need to accept this apology so that I can redefine our relationship. I can say from the outside that our relationship was great and it was wonderful, but we've moved on and we're all doing something different. So let's stop talking about the kids and the fact that I abandoned my wives and I abandoned my children. Let's not talk about that anymore. Let's talk instead about how fluffy it is and how wonderful it is and how, oh goodness gracious, it's so special. That's what he wants to talk about. He wants to ignore the real issues. And that's part of the reason why I was saying from the very beginning that this whole apology tour is a waste of time, because you're not willing to address any of the things that she's concerned about, anything that she's offended by. You want to talk about how you felt about things. I'm not a victim. I was never a victim. Okay. The next step is I wasn't a victim, but I victimized you. And I apologize for that. I blamed you for things that wasn't your fault. I apologize for that. I made it seem like you did something wrong when you didn't do anything wrong, and I played the victim. I apologize for that. That's not what he said. And I'm not willing to give you credit for that. One of the things that I do want to touch on, if but briefly, is the idea that Kody is coming into this still maintaining the superiority mindset where he thinks he's better, not only than David, he thinks he's better than Christine. And this is what I was referring to when I was talking about the Gloria Gaynor model of I will survive. He's coming back into this relationship thinking he can talk to her and tell her and say the same bullshit that he was telling her when they were in the relationship together early on. In his mind, he can come in and just say whatever he wants. And she's supposed to lend him that grace of everything you say is true. And I believe you because you're a wonderful person. And oh, you're so amazing, Kody. And I don't understand. Oh, I'm so blessed just by you deciding to come down and tell me that our relationship was good, thereby validating the last 30 years of my life. Thank you so much. The thing that he's struggling with, and part of the reason why he's so frustrated, is because Christine isn't giving him that, because Christine isn't the same person he was dealing with when he was dealing with Christine before. He is literally sitting across the table from, by all intents and purposes, a stranger. He's saying that, oh, David doesn't know me. Bro, you don't know Christine. These two are completely different. Just as you would say, your relationship with Robin is different than your relationship with the other wives, Christine's relationship with David is completely different than her relationship with you. He doesn't appreciate that. He doesn't recognize that. In fact, he sees Christine in such a poor light and as rubbish, as Christine would say, that he doesn't understand that David would actually cherish that relationship, or that she would have the audacity and temerity to cherish herself and value herself. That, I think, bothers him. He doesn't understand what's going on. And to me, I think that, like I said, there are times when, one, art imitates life. And this is a perfect example of that. In fact, this song so much, I've been at weddings and places where they played this song and, people on the dance floor jamming. And in this song by Carrie Underwood, where they talk about cutting up the dude's truck and busting out all his windows and putting his shit up on bricks. This song, that song, there's a couple songs. That one song by Alison Morissette. And there's a few other songs. I broke the windows out his car. Like those songs, when they start playing them songs, especially if you're a single guy and you just on the dance floor and it's a group of women, do not walk up to the women during those songs. Those songs are not about you. You are not welcome. Those songs are not even songs. They're battle cry anthems. Okay. And when I'm watching this particular episode, one of the things that that just had me excited was the fact that there was a change in Christine. And in comparison, not even to slight Janelle, but I think that there is that part where you see the difference between how Janelle responded to the things Kody was saying versus how Christine responded to the things Kody was saying. I think Christine, she was forced to separate from Kody because she had been breaking from Kody for a long time. And it didn't just happen in season 17. She had, like, there are small micro breaks that happen a lot of times. And that's where you say, when a woman's fed up, like at the end of the day, she's experiencing micro breaks where she's saying, like, you are this close, and then you break up a little bit, and you're this close, and you break up a little bit. And then every time you do something wrong, you get a little further and further apart. And by the time she got to season 17, that was the end of the road for Kody. Like, she had already, put him out of the house a little bit at a time. She had said verbally that she wants to leave him, which is always indication. When they started screaming out loud, I think I'm leaving Kody. I can't do this shit no more. And they never said that before. You should be concerned. Right? Oh, they just always say that. No, she dead ass, because she never said it on camera. So it's the little micro break. So Christine had been leaving Kody for years before she left Kody. Right. And then when she decided that, all of a sudden, it felt all of a sudden to him because he wasn't paying attention. And then when she left, she had to reconstruct herself and rebuild herself up. And she built herself back bigger, better, and stronger. And now she's in a place where Kody doesn't matter. And Kody, in order for him to break through that wall to get to Christine, he has to come correct. He can no longer sit there and just say a bunch of words and force her to listen to him and expect her to agree with him. Kody has specifically a sense of entitlement when he walks into these conversations. That everybody, all eyes on me, everybody's going to listen to me, everybody should be concerned about how I feel and what I'm saying. I don't have to worry about what you say. You should worry about what I say, because I'm the boss. And I'm also going to, like I said, I'm going to talk specifically about David and his end of this conversation, because I think that's very interesting. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that art indeed imitated life in this situation? Do you think Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive is the perfect description and theme song, dare I say soundtrack, to Christine's end of the apology tour? Let me know what you guys think down below. You can always call me in on the call-in show on Tuesday nights, or you can leave a speak pipe at speakpipe.com. Leave a message, minute 30. You get a hot box in there, or you can leave a couple messages. I don't care. We do reactions on Thursday night lives for the speak pipe. So it's speakpipe.com/mytakeonreality. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Have a good one. Let me know what you guys think. That's my take. I'm James, and this has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out. 'Cause I've been living life right like